So I'm going to radio to my guys, so I'm going to take a look at it. Should be up and going in a little bit. Just a second. We're talking to each other right now. 1 to 6. 1 to 6. We have a series of computers on panels that are actually right behind the wall here in enclosed boxes, and we can actually tell it, to work as a television, as a small television screen if we wanted to. Artistically, that'll be up to them and how they program it, but they'll have a lot more control. I'm in the tunnel with the group right now. So he'll find me later. So basically, we have a lot of this color kinetic stuff all over the place. You can actually see these same dots creating a small snow effect in some of the clusters of trees over here. You can also see on the ceiling of the wood carver shop over there, we also have those guys, and also on the chimney of the glass blower shop at the other end of the trail. We're running the same thing. Now the floodlights you'll see that are hitting the canopy in winter and in say fall, those are actually called color glass fixtures. Same type of fixture that you see on the facade up here at the games area. It's a very, very durable fixture. It's great. And it'll also be a lot of fun during Halloween weekends. We're already thinking about Halloween weekends and how we can utilize this type of equipment. We probably won't use, say, the Christmas lights on the trees. We'll use the dimming distribution. It'll be a lot easier to get our foggers up and running. We'll be able to use them for strobe effects and a couple of other fun things that I'm not going to talk about right now. But basically, it's a lot of capability, a lot of cool things that we can do. Now let's go back over to support. Sorry to walk all the way down here. We're going to walk back over to support. If you were to stay at Castaway Bay in the wintertime during Christmas, we do a thing with the tree and snow and everything else. And he loved the snow effect so much, he definitely said we had to have snow here. Snow is something that a lot of theme parks do, especially the Florida ones, in California at Christmas time. Obviously, it's a natural thing. Stand by with the group right now in an interview. But basically, it's very easy effect for us to use. It's kind of like a foam, almost a soapy type material. It's safe to eat, although it doesn't taste very good. Biodegradable, everything, and for the most part, that'll fade in just a couple of minutes, and we'll have another batch. We run them on 5-minute cycles. I have another machine on the other side of the trail over here. You don't know which way the prevailing winds are going to be on any given night, just like we do with the fog machines. We have fog on both sides of the midway. We also plan the snow machine. Very surprised. It's one of the biggest hits we can get, and it was also one of our easiest effects to pull off. So it's always fun just to see the reaction to it. One of the questions by one of the group here was, what's up with the 3D glasses? They're not necessarily 3D, but what they do is project an image. If you were to look at the lights themselves, that you can see a design. And if I remember correctly, there might be 3 designs. I know there's 2 for sure right now. I know there's hearts, and I know that there's stars. Each light actually has a small little star around it or a small little heart around it. I think the third one are bells, but I haven't seen the bells personally. It does bring up, in the planning stages of a project like this, one of the things that we actually do is early in the project, get involved with our outside departments. Not only is this an entertainment aspect, but we also affect operations, park services department, the guys who helped us bring out the tractors, they have to plan staffing for this sort of thing early in the season, bring on extra people if they have to. We also contacted our boots department to make sure they have extra stands open throughout the park later, because the draws to keep guests here just a little bit later past the park close and trickle on out. Merchandise was one of the biggest ones, and that's where the 3D glasses were brought in. Somebody had seen them at, I believe, the Toledo Zoo or something like that, and from there they had decided that it was really cool. They brought in a few pair. I remember a meeting, I think it was sometime in February, we brought in one LED light, all stared at it, and was like, that's the coolest thing ever. And the next thing you know, we're selling them by droves here at Midway. So that's one of the coolest things, but on a project like this, it's the whole park that really participates and helps. Our maintenance division was huge for us in getting us up and going with this, with their support, their outside electrical contractors and everything. So that's just another major aspect of getting a show like this up. Not really a joke, but kind of an inside story. You'll notice up in the air, we have these just little bursts of fireworks. Well, up until about 2 nights before we opened, that and the bunting that's made on the barn and a couple of other areas, that was really about it we had for the 4th of July section. And it's one of the things where the designer said, you know, it'd be really cool. And next thing you know, we're wrapping all of the trees. Well, you know, it takes several hours just to wrap one tree. This is an easier wrap than, say, is the winter section where it's a very tight wrap. That takes a long time. So the whole crew said, okay, we're just about done, everything's great, and then all of a sudden looking at it going, oh no, we gotta do this. They were much happier with it at the end. Of course, now it's a little bit more pronounced. Going into the seasons, if you haven't realized it yet, it does follow a progression of the seasons. We started with the winter with the blues and whites. We came into fall, which is right back there. You see more of the branches of the trees, and then the blasts, the floodlights are actually hitting the canopy of the trees, causing different colors, the oranges, the yellows, that sort of thing with the music. Get into summer, 4th of July, and then down here, this Mardi Gras section obviously is touring, and that's where we're going to be heading next. Finishing up in this area, as I said, with those dimmer cartridges once we get them in. One of the things that you do hear some of the comments is it's really amazing. We do bring out all of the lights at the beginning of the evening in order to let more guests see it. We always find that balance between should we start it a little bit earlier or wait until it's pitch black. Obviously, with the summer getting a little bit longer, you know, we try and find that fine balance. But this is definitely an attraction or something you want to see once it's completely dark. You can see from the sky we still have just a little bit of twilight left. Walk through once it gets completely pitch black. It is definitely a different experience than what we're experiencing right now. I'm really honest, being here every single night, minute by minute, the darker and darker it gets, the much more effective it is, the much more impact we have on this attraction. So you definitely want to check it out. One of the cool things here is that Starlight stays open until the last riders are off the Maverick, and they're pretty much on their way through the trail. So if it's a 10 o'clock close, we keep Starlight running up until about 11:15, depending on how long the line is for Maverick that day, trying to let everybody see it as late as possible. So it's definitely something, if you've ridden your last ride, you're somewhere else in the park, maybe make your way back this way to walk through as your last walk out. It's really relaxing. It's something that I really enjoy seeing. You know, one of the things is, during the day, everybody's running from ride to ride at high energy. With the subtle soundtrack that we have with just the lights, you'll see it's a lot more relaxed. You'll see a lot more people sitting on benches and taking it in. It's something that I really enjoy. Being able to go, that's right, we do work